Hello and welcome. My name's Angie Holden and I'm the blogger behind The Country Chic Cottage. So if you've ever wanted to make your own designs easily for either your Cricut machine or your sublimation printer, you are in the right spot today. So we're going to use a completely online program which you can use for free called Kittl. This video is sponsored by Kittl, however all projects and opinions are my own. What is Kittl? Kittl is a very easy way to either create designs from scratch or start with easy to use ready-made templates that you can customize in literally seconds, from anywhere from the color to what it says to the font. Just think of all the options and you can customize them with Kittl. So Kittl was a new program to me when they approached me. I took a look at the program itself and my first reaction was, wow, this is like free. You can use it for free online. You can even download files and images, JPEG or PNG files, up to 1200 pixels. You can even download them with the transparent background, and those have a commercial license when you download them. So you can make projects with the designs that you create in Kittl and sell those projects. So this is a great opportunity for small business owners, for those that just want to create something custom to make with their Cricut machine or sublimation printer, or those that just want to like play around with design but don't have the money for another design program. Kittl is a very robust program, has all those options that you have all been asking me for, like curving text, waving text, how do I make the text fit a shape? Kittl has all of those options and you're going to love each and every one of them. So let's take a look around Kittl, work with a template, work with a design from scratch, and then we're going to upload a couple of those to Cricut Design Space and see just how it works. So let's take a look inside Kittl. So this is Kittl, and it is kittl.com. I will leave a link for this in the description below. And remember, they are offering the 1 month of the Pro membership if you use my link in the description below this video. So this is the front page where you can see all sorts of ready-made designs that you can customize right on Kittl. So first of all, let's take a look. You can sort by name, recent, most used. This first thing is trending. You could go to logos. You could look at t-shirt designs, posters, cards. You can pick and choose from these ready-made designs and then customize them to be whatever you wanted. Okay, so let's say I like this design, but maybe I don't live in California, I live in another coastal town. So we can click use this design after we pull it up. And now I could alter this. So let's say I wanted to change the text. So I just changed that to Florida. Now, there are tons of different things you can do in this designer. One of which I really like is this variable font setting. Because now that I've changed the font, it doesn't exactly fit. We can extend it out to fit the spot that we need. We can also move it around. And then let's say this first F, we wanted a glyph. The glyphs are right in this designer, so I can scroll down and pick a different F if there is one available. So I really like this F, so I can go ahead and pick it and delete the old one off. And now we can get a look at that and again adjust this variable to maybe where that F is in the front out here and move it over. And it looks like it's a little oversized, so it does give you like little warning marks to let you know when you have done something wrong. So I could kind of undersize it here a little bit. And now I've just customized that to be the state maybe that I live in, even though it was a ready-made design. Now, what else can you change on this design? We can click any of the elements and change the colors. So let's say that I wanted to change the color scheme completely to a different color scheme. We can click the background, we can alter it to a different color. And then one of my favorite things is, see how many different, like of this red element there is? I can click down here, click this red, and pick a completely different color, and everything that is that color changes all at the same time. It's one of my favorite features. And then let's say I really like this yellow. I can copy and paste the hex code and I can drop it over here to this yellow. Now I've made those two yellows the same even if they weren't before. So I can, let me just continue to kind of add in a different color scheme here. So now within just a few minutes, I've completely altered the color scheme to something that maybe I like better than the color scheme it was before. So this is definitely a way to change up these ready-made designs into something that works for you. Then I can share it. So I could share it to social media or share it with a link with someone, or I can download it. So I can download it as a PNG or a JPEG and then print it, say on a sublimation printer. Or if you have that Pro subscription, you can download this as a SVG file. I will go ahead and sign up for a Pro subscription here in a minute, and we'll run through downloading as a SVG file to use on a Cricut machine. So as it is right now with the free subscription, you can download it as a PNG. However, your height will be at the max of 1200 pixels. I do find that enough for most projects, but if you had like a really large project, you might find that that's a little small and a little low in resolution for printing or even uploading to Design Space without getting sort of rough edges. Also, on the free plan, we can remove the background. So I'm gonna remove the background and download it as a PNG. Then later on in this video, I'll take a look at uploading a lot of these things to Cricut Design Space. But for now, let's stay in Kittl and look at other things that you can do. So now that I've altered this auto-saved. So now I can head up here to my profile, and you'll see my projects in here. So this one was just where I was playing around, and this one is the one I just did. So you can head to your projects at any time. I could head back into this project, I could edit it, I could say Florida surfing, I can name it whatever I would like. You can also see your projects at any time on the left by clicking my projects over here. So we can also go here to settings and you can see the size of your artboard. So you can alter the orientation, landscape or portrait. I'm going to click off this trim view and click Instagram post. And now, so let's say I wanted to use this on Instagram. I can zoom out. I can pick all of my elements here, and I could resize this using this arrow to fit in a square box. So if you have something and want to change the size of it, you can do that as well. These buttons on the bottom zoom in and out of your artboard, and you can also use these buttons to undo or redo any action. You can also click here and you can change something to inches. So let's say I had an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I could do an 8.5 by 11, and I could see that on a sheet of paper. If you have this trim view on, you'll only be able to see what's on the page, but if you turn that off, you can see all of your elements, and that way you can see them to pick them and resize to the new artboard size. So I like turning that trim view off, and we can just regroup here. And as you're dragging this around, you'll see little guides appear. When, let's say I'm in the center here, I'm in the center horizontally and vertically, so you can use those guides to center up your design as well. So now I'm back on the main page, and let's say I didn't want to use any of these ready-made designs. I want to make something from scratch. We'll just click New Project, and you do need to be signed in to do a lot of these things, so be sure to at least create your free account and get signed in. The first thing I would probably do is make my artboard the size I wanted it to be. So this is the standard size, 1200 by 1200, but you could definitely change it to something else just like we've done before. So I've just changed it to a standard size 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Then we'll go over here to this left menu. The top is My Projects, which is the projects you've already done. Then you have Designs. This is going to be similar to that first page, but here you could search for a keyword. So if I wanted to search for surfing, then you'll see different things. Here I search for logo. There's a variety of things. So you can use this in the same manner, and when you pick one of these, it will go over to your artboard. So if I pick this, it goes over to my artboard. And it does tell me that it's going to either replace or a new project. So we'll just say replace. And it does change that artboard size. So it changed it to the size of whatever the design was. It did not make it fit the artboard size I had picked before. So do be aware of that when you choose to replace the design. One more small tip is this shortcuts button. These are your keyboard shortcuts. It does really help to use some of these sometimes, so that's there if you need it. So let's move on beyond designs, and we'll just add text to this plain artboard. So when you add text, you could either just add text. So I just added a text box, and I could type the name of my state, and from here I could alter this to be different fonts. You can sort by different fonts up here. You can just scroll through and pick a font you like. You could search for a font by name. So for a font, if it's available, you can use this variable to expand the font out or kind of contract it in. So I do like this feature a lot. You can also change the text color up here, the opacity. You could add a border. You can change the placement of the font. You can change the size here. You can change the letter spacing or the line spacing if you had multiple lines in your text. Here it would change the placement of the text within the text box itself. This one would change to all uppercase letters or back to upper and lowercase. Again, the glyphs are one of my favorite features, so you can pick those, scroll through, pick any glyphs that are part of the font right on Kittl without having to open anything else, look for anything else. So I can go ahead and pick a T. I'm gonna move that to the front and delete that other T off. So now we can kind of see how that changes the font. Now we can also transform the font with a ton of different options. So we can do a custom curve right in Kittl by moving these points. You can do a circle, again, move the points in and out. Angles, arches, move the points to change those. Each of these transformation elements also has a slider at the bottom, so you can play with that as well. You can do a rise, a wave, a flag, basically any kind of text work that you would want. You can probably get it by playing with these transformation elements and the points. I just kind of hit the undo button until I got back to something that was not transformed into different curves. So now let's hit this button here for text effects. Again, there are tons of effects that you can play with. So this one is drop shadow. You can play with the offset of the drop shadow, the angle, how much blur you have. You can add decoration to the text. And for each of these decorations, you can also change the decoration itself, even altering the line weight, distance, like tons of different options for the effects. I could play with this probably all day. So you can tell there's a ton of options with the text itself, and you can just kind of find the look you're going for your design. Just click through the text effects, find the look you're going for, and again, you can alter all of the colors on the text. Let's say I don't want to start at the beginning with text from scratch, however, I don't want a full design. Kittl has that as well. So let's get rid of this text, and you can see tons of different options here that are already started for you, but are not full designs. You can also click the show all for even more options. So one of these might work for you better, so you don't have to go through all those options, or you might want to just start from scratch and start playing with text in Kittl. Then we can go to elements, and here you'll find basic shapes, ornaments, illustrations, tons of different things that you can add to your designs on Kittl. And for each of these, again, you can click show all and get tons of more options than are shown on that first screen. And then you can search at the top just to find like what you are looking for your design. So search at the top for something like star, and you will find tons of different options for your designs, many more than you can probably pick from. There are even illustrations, animals, flowers, these ocean beach things that are super popular, just tons of different things that you can pick from to start your designs from scratch. Then if you don't like their elements or their photos, you can do upload. So from here you can upload your own media, PNG, JPEG, SVG, upload those from your computer and use them in your designs. And then the next option is photographs. So you can also find photographs directly on Kittl that you could use. And then finally we have textures. So you can add these textures to your design. Let's just say like I wanted a rustic wood look. You can add a wood look to your design. So let's change the background color to a gray here, and you can start to see this texture take effect. You can change also the effects of this texture and get tons of different looks to the same texture application. So you can click through these to see which one you like, and then you could also change the opacity so you can make it more see-through, and then change this background color to get tons of different looks to something like a wood background as well. We can actually put that trim view back on so those sides aren't sticking out, and now you can start to see what a textured background would look to your design as well. Now I added a few things to my artboard here. Now we can click the layers panel. You can see the layers themselves and the order that they're in. And so I would probably want this illustration behind that golden times. So you can just pick it and drag it down. And as you can see, the texture is sort of applied to the entire design. We could also turn that on and off here. So we could turn that off just by using this eye so we could see what does it look like without the texture. So maybe I want to add it back in, but I want to turn down that opacity a little bit. So I could do that. So I could turn down that opacity. So I found that the layers panel is very useful as well for moving things around, sending things to the back and to the front. You can also do that with a right click. So if I right click on Golden Times, I can flip it. I can move to the forward, move back, move to the front, move to the back. I could ungroup it, delete it, copy, or paste it. So this is another great way to get those shortcuts is by right-clicking any element. So now that I've ran through the basics of designing in Kittl, let me go ahead and make an account with those pro features so I can download a SVG, and then we're going to upload both the ping file and the SVG file to Cricut Design Space and just see what happens. As I'm getting my pro license to show you, I just wanted to show you what comes with each of the licenses. So with the free, it's free forever. You get your low-res JPEG and PNG export, like I said, 1200 pixels. You can work on 10 projects at a time. 50 megabytes of upload space, a full design library, and a commercial license come with the plan. If you move up to the Pro, again, I have a free month of the Pro linked below. If I was to move up to the Pro and just bill monthly, it would be $15 a month. If you bill yearly, it's $10 a month. You get the vector export, which was what we want with the SVG. You get the high-res JPEG and PNG. This is where you can upload custom fonts. You can work on up to 50 projects and you get 1 gigabyte of upload space. Then they do have another level, it's called the Expert, where you can work on unlimited projects, 10 gigabytes of upload space, vector export again of the SVG, again the high-res JPEG and PNG export, and the custom font upload. So if you're looking to use this to export SVGs or custom fonts, that type of thing, then you might want to consider one of the other subscriptions. You can, again, try it out for a month with my link below. So I uploaded both versions to Cricut Design Space. This version is the PNG file that we originally made with the free subscription. And then this version is a SVG I made with a pro subscription. So first, let's go ahead and add the PNG file. And I did upload it as a print then cut just to see what it would look like. So there you have a print then cut file, and I could actually change this if I wanted to at this point to cut. And you can see that it does not get all of those fine details. So if I wanted to use this for like making a sign out of vinyl, it would probably be pretty difficult. Let me scroll down here and show you around the wheels how it did not get all of those fine details. So let's see if the SVG file did any better at getting the fine details of this. So we'll pick the SVG file and add to canvas. So what I would probably do is pick the entire group and resize it to something that maybe we could see. So we can do 12, made it 12 by 15. So now we can see everything. And let's zoom out here so we can see what details it did catch. So you can see each of these elements, and let's delete off the artboard itself. So we'll pick everything and ungroup, and then we can delete off things like this artboard around the outside. And then we can see the summer camp came in as one cut, which is amazing. And then we have the surfing, and actually the yellow is all one cut, which is great. The details around the wheels came in fine. There is a white layer behind the truck. We could keep that or get rid of it just easily by picking the white layer here. The only thing I see, so everything looks like it came in pretty good. Right, so there are those birds, and we could get rid of like that top layer of the bird if we did not want that super detailed layer over the bird itself, and we could leave the birds like that. And then the only other thing I see is the in between these two letters there's a little imperfection there, so we can see that cut. So zooming in you can see that a little bit better, and I am going to try to like contour that out and see if it works. But that being the only imperfection is not bad at all. Really impressed with the SVG overall. So let me see if I can contour out this piece or fix it in some way. So basically in looking at this, the T and the H is one cut and the E is another cut, so it's going to cut into this E. So what I would probably do is copy and paste it, and then do contour on both of these, and then weld those together. Okay, so now you can see I have them as two cuts, and now I can put them back together here and locate it approximately where it needs to be, and then pick everything and click weld. So that fixed it. So there could be a few issues with SVG files, depending on the level of detail you have in your project itself. But overall, I was impressed with the way the SVG pulled in and all the details that came with it. And again, you could contour out some of these smaller details if you don't think your Cricut machine will cut it. And it'll probably depend on how big or small you're making this for a shirt. But the SVG file portion of Kittl definitely worked really great and much better than the free version where I just had the ping. Now, if you were going to print this for sublimation, I think you could get away with the ping, open it in a program like Photoshop, and print it from there. You should be able to get away with it as long as you don't make it too large where it gets pixelated. So now that we've uploaded those to Cricut Design Space, I did want to show you like the licensing details, just so you know exactly what kind of license you get with the free Pro, and there is even another option for a paid subscription. So let's take a look at that. So with your free subscription, you do get a commercial license. So permitted use, personal, commercial, or commissioned projects. Commissioned projects means designs created by you for another person. For example, you can create a design for your client, employer, or contractor. You can make physical end products for sale. Multiple clients and multiple projects. Websites, apps, or video games can use rasterized images. You can use physical and digital ads only as rasterized images, or social media posts as rasterized images. Now, what you cannot do, you cannot redistribute, sublicense, or share the source files of designs anywhere. You cannot make your designs available for download on other platforms other than Kittl, so you could not sell your SVG files. You cannot resell your designs as stock material. You cannot claim exclusive rights to use those designs. You can't use the designs in any way that infringes upon the intellectual property of the brand assets or other elements. And you cannot use the designs in a way that competes with Kittl's business, or use the design for anything like illegal, immoral, that type of thing. So you can use them on your projects. You can use them on the stuff you make that you're going to sell, but you couldn't sell the SVG files that you made in Kittl, if that makes sense. And this commercial license comes even with the free version. So even something you made with the free account in the design element of Kittl can be used with that commercial license for those physical end products and things like designs for your websites or social media posts if you do those types of things. So as I've stated, you can get a free month of the Pro subscription, and I have that linked in the description below. So if you're on computer, click show more below this video. If you're on computer, click the arrow to expand the description, or swipe up on the video depending on how you're watching. Then you can just click the link, head to Kittl, get a free month of the Pro. You can try it out with your Cricut machine, try it out with your sublimation printer, decide if Kittl is the right option for you for making your own custom designs. Hopefully you found this helpful and will at least give Kittl a try, especially if you've been wanting to create your own designs and haven't found a good option to do that yet. And I've heard from tons of you that are looking for that quick, easy design program to customize things from shirts to tumblers, etc., for all of those projects that you're making at home for either yourself, for gifts, or to sell. And I do think Kittl is a great solution for all of those cases. So hopefully you learned something today. If you did, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions about Kittl or anything else I covered today, just ask those in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We have videos just like this one every single week, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of those. So thank y'all so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.